Okay, so a big question we have about the gathering style course, we get emails from people, is essentially, is this right for me? And what I want to try and communicate right now by asking my mom some questions is that this course is right for you. Whether you are new to the florist industry, you're starting a new business, or you've had a business for a little while. So we're going to talk right now to both types of people. So bear with me if you're the second group. But the first thing I want to ask you about, Mom, is why you think that this course would be suitable for somebody who's preparing to jump into the wedding and event design world.
Well, it's the backbone and the basis for beginning a business, how to start it, how to market it. It is a easy way for you to skip out on all the mistakes that typical people make when they start a business, many of which I made, and I can let other people benefit from that 28 years of experience. It is what you need to know from contracting to marketing to actual construction. It's also client management. So it's really valuable because it's a step-by-step process, and it's also backed up with documentation to help you along the way.
And from a design perspective, it covers every aspect of weddings and events, right?
Every aspect would be a pretty strong term, but yes, I mean, all of the fundamentals are in here, and then you can take them and morph them into other types of designs. But yes, it's very comprehensive. Bridal maids, boots, corsages, centerpieces, and then the large scale designs, really sexy high-end things that not everyone knows how to make.
So I often tease my mom that she's a little bit too humble. So that list sounded like everything, and we call it the comprehensive course. So when I ask you again if it really gives someone all the design education they would need to design flowers for a wedding, the answer is yes.
Yes, but there's still more designs in my head and other things and we actually added those into the course anyways.
Right. As
yes.
as a part of enrollment this time, you get 3 additional design courses for free when you purchase Gathering Style. And those courses include some design work that is extra special and not necessarily a typical part of every wedding, but you could offer it to your clients as a part of your portfolio.
That's true.
Okay, so the other thing that I wanted you to talk about a little bit is, your beginning and how that makes you a great educator for people who might be starting from their kitchen.
Well, that's essentially how I began. I mean, my start was very humble. I didn't have formal training because it really didn't exist in my area. I did have the benefit of a father who was incredibly handy and had been in a garden center and producing things for Christmas for, I don't know, probably 60 years before he quit doing that. How to make centerpieces and wreaths and kissing balls and all of that stuff. He was my first teacher, and a damn fine teacher he was. So all of those things, were taken and morphed into what became my mechanics and my way of functioning. And yeah, over the 28 years, I learned a lot as I produced events, and I also had the benefit of working with some of the best designers in the world, and their knowledge and education also kind of became a part of me. And that's also mentioned quite a bit in the course. I speak about those people that have given me and taught me so much as well.
But I wanted to highlight that because a lot of people see our Instagram posts and it's from these big epic weddings in Washington, D.C. But at the beginning, you were a mom who was self-taught, and it started with one wedding for a lady who lived up the road.
That's right, 2 houses up.
And so what you should understand is that if you haven't even had your first wedding yet, my mom is someone who can communicate to you because she remembers what it was like to get that first wedding and jump in.
And design it off the front porch, really. I moved
Right.
from the kitchen to the front porch.
That was an
And-
upgrade.
And even little clippings and things from the yard, all of the different resources that I used before I even had a wholesaler, all of those are included, all of the bits and pieces that helped us get to where we are today. I feel like our designs are very approachable and don't look like this big, epic, overwhelming place, but many people say that they are. You know, we are still a home-based business today, and we're not a very large company, actually. We don't have a gazillion employees. We're still at the helm, Evan and I, writing the contracts, meeting with clients, developing design styles, growing flowers, harvesting, and we help with all of the designs and things as well.
Right. So if you're new, you're going to get the encouragement you want and need from this class to make it happen. And because we believe in you, because we've seen it happen right here. All right, so let's talk a little bit to somebody who's been in the florist game for a while. Maybe they're a retail florist who has a brick and mortar shop. Maybe they are somebody that's doing some wedding and event work already. And you were saying the other day that, what was it? It was like reimagine, reignite. What you want to communicate to people about this class is that whether it's because you're trying to pivot after COVID-19's impact on the industry, maybe you're just bored with your own portfolio of design work and want to do new things. There's a lot in this class that'll help you re-energize your existing business and take it to a new level. So what are some of those things you'd like to highlight?
Well, and I said rebuild. I think we're all in a state right now where we are going through our policies, going through our portfolios, and trying to show who we are in the industry and rebuild some new revenue streams. And so, a lot of very seasoned, accomplished floral designers and retail florists may not have spent 28 years focusing on weddings. There is a certain culture and a tempo that is, our daily lives, and that is completely shared with you in this course, and it's beneficial because you start to look at the industry and wedding and event work in a different way through the eyes of someone who's been doing it for 28 years.
Exactly. And just at the beginning when we said there's no one who's too new or too green to the industry, I would also say that it's not too late for anyone to change their business or even jump into this industry. We've, I think, been surprised, actually pleasantly surprised, by the number of prior enrollees who were mid or well into their flower careers and were jumping into the wedding and event game for the first time. People in their 50s or later, and they've gotten a lot of value out of the class, and we're thrilled to see that and excited that it's made them see what they can do for the next 20 years because they love flowers and they want to keep doing it.
All of that, I mean, it's all there, and we are offering support and additional education with the course. It's actually infinitely easier to have a conversation and a powwow with someone who's got years of experience that can go deep into the heart of technical design with those that are experienced. So I can speak both languages very comfortably. And while you might be really good at retail work, you may not have the bandwidth or the education to do flower walls and elevated cascading arrangements and hookahs and arches and large trees. I mean, all of that is included in this. So I think it really opens up your mind to so many other possibilities beyond centerpieces and even bridal work.
Right. And what you highlighted there is that, and this is a feature that's different for investing in education with us than some other offerings out there, is that once you become one of our students, you're like a part of the family. So when you have a bad day and you don't know if this was right for you, you can reach out to us and we'll give you the pep talk and encouragement you need to get back out there. Because we want to be available and help. And that's a part of why we limit how often we take on new students, because the connection is real and special, and we really can only form that sort of bond with so many students.
Well, and in particular, if we're going to be Zooming, we're going to have to keep that down to a dull roar so that I can give everyone the attention that they need. So yes, we have 1 week until June 24th. The class will be up for sale, and then I will be designating time each month to do a Zoom class with our students, and you also will be brought into our online community, which is called the Greenhouse. So many people have been asking us about continued education at this time, and this course was created for those that couldn't make it to our farm, and here we are, and no one can really travel right now. So instead of feeling like this wasn't a good time, it's actually very much the right time for us to be rebuilding, reimagining, and focusing on our businesses and preparing for the future, because we better be ready, because it's going to come back like crazy.
Right. And we think it's the right time for you too. And we're here to prepare you for the world when it reawakens.
It's coming.
I thank you.
Thank you so much.